I want to compare the federal government and the bandits, the terrorists they call the bandits. Now, do not be offended because of this comparison. If the bandits kidnap children, they kidnap people, they will feed them very well and ask for like 1 million naira on their head as ransom. But look at the federal government of Nigeria illegally adopted children. They call it arrest. For me, they kidnapped them. They starved them for 3 months. They did not feed them. And they were asking for 10 million naira each as bail. And I call it ransom. It's not bail. It is a ransom for them to free those children. Now, in this comparison, I want to ask a question. The bandits and the federal government of Nigeria, who is more better? Or should we call the federal government the bandits? It's just a question.
Really?
For 3 months. For 3 months.
Not even an adult.
For 3 months. 3 months. Before they collapse at the Federal High Court. These minors have been kept in custody for the last 3 months, Dr. Bati. Not properly fed, not properly clothed, their welfare not catered for, some of their parents and relatives not even having knowledge of where they were kept.
When we are talking about the illegal detention of Nnamdi Kanu and how the DSS are treating Nnamdi Kanu, a lot of people pay deaf ear to it. A lot of people believe that, oh, it is Nnamdi Kanu, it sounds Igbo. They forget that when someone is maltreated and you refuse to speak, definitely they are still going to use the same strategy against other people. And that is what the minors are just facing in Nigeria now. Now the whole world are, talking about it. It is trending and it is giving Nigeria an image that they do not have. I know Nigeria don't have image internationally, so it is just like painting black on top of black because they don't have image. Now, this is the point I want to, bring out from this interview with Nnamdi Kanu. The senior advocate of Nigeria, Lateef Fagbemi, who is the chief, is it the chief justice? I mean, Attorney General of the Federation, yes, the Attorney General of the Federation. He said that he's not aware that minors are being charged for treason. When they brought out the case of Nnamdi Kanu, when Iwanyango, the late may so rest in peace, went to meet him, he told Iwanyango that he don't know about the case of Nnamdi Kanu. How can the Chief Justice of Nigeria be lying? Now, I know that police, DSS, and all those security agencies, they have prosecutory power, but they don't have power to prosecute treason. Treason is the duty of the Department of Justice. So Lateef Fagbemi cannot tell us that he don't know that minors are being, charged for treason, that if they find them guilty, they will kill them. Just imagine. Now, to understand how this thing is going, everyone for good 3 months, nobody even care to understand what these people are going on. If you feel pain about these minors, I want you to understand the way other people feel about the detention of Nnamdi Kanu, how the DSS don't obey the court order, how the Nigerian government don't obey the court order. Listen to what this lawyer Nnamdi Kanu said about this illegal detention, and in your heart, use it to rate what they have been doing against Nnamdi Kanu for 10 years.
This is an abuse of the Child Rights Act of 2003. Now the NBA has intervened. Femi Falana, ACN has spoken. Serap has spoken. The Attorney General says they will look at the matter. The Minister of Women Affairs has visited the children, affected children at their detention center. Now, what do you recommend? Because this looks like an embarrassment. Children carrying a Russian flag in a country that has dual nationality, they say they've committed treason. Children who are saying we are hungry, they say it is treasonable felony to say in Nigeria that you are hungry. What do you recommend? Because the Attorney General of the Federation, who says he will look into this matter, he has powers under sections 174 and 211 of the 1999 Constitution to enter a nolle. Should he do so? What do you recommend? What do you think? Let's start with you, Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you. I think I should lay a background to this matter.
Yes.
The End Bad Governance protest that lasted from the 1st to the 10th of August 2024 was a nationwide action by Nigerians, particularly young people, who are fed up with the status quo and are demanding that government should change the direction that things are going. The economy is crumbling, inflation has gone very high, the purchasing power of the Nigerian people have been drastically reduced. So people are fed up, people are hungry, and that was what prompted people to come out to protest. Now, these persons that were arrested primarily between the 2nd of August. Some of them, I think 29th of July or so, but mostly on the 2nd of August. Mostly from Kaduna and Kano. There are two sets of defendants. You have the 76 and you have the 43. Okay?
They are 130.
Yes. The minors at 82.
Okay.
Now, what has happened is that they were arrested and detained in different states, particularly Kano and Kaduna, as I said, from the 2nd to about the 11th of August, when they were brought to Abuja. Now, when they were detained outside Abuja, to the best of our knowledge, the police did not even bother to get a remand order. So they had already detained them beyond the constitutional period. They now went to court seeking to legalize their illegality by obtaining a remand order to keep them. Now, when they got the remand order, the learned judge, Honorable Justice Nwite, ordered that they should be remanded in the custodial center. They took them to Kuje. Kuje rejected the minors. I need to put that on record. On the basis that by virtue of Section 35 of the Nigerian Correctional Service Act, juveniles or children, young offenders, cannot be detained in the conventional facility. They are supposed to be detained in juvenile centers or remand homes. Right now, they took, you know where they took them to? They took them to former SARS facility in Abuja. The same SARS that we are told has been abolished. They were not properly fed, as you can see from the video that we also at the Federal High Court. They were deprived of their fundamental rights. Now, on the basis of law, this should never have happened. This should never have happened. Because there is now a very duplicitous, very deceitful attempt to say that this is a government that, is trying to prosecute people who were involved in violence or whatever. But what we are seeing is that this has more to do with criminalization of protests. Now, you arrested these individuals, and you also took those that are also minors, and also detained them. And by virtue of Section 15 of the Child Rights Act, you cannot try a child in the conventional court. It has to be either the family court or the juvenile court. And you cannot also detain a child or minors where adults are supposed to be detained. In fact, even the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, Section 451, says that in the prosecution or trial of children or minors, that it shall be as provided for under the Child Rights Act. So what was the basis for taking these children before the Federal High Court? To remand them in a manner that has brought embarrassment to the entire country, and to the point that some of them had to basically be rushed to the hospital. And this is 3 months after they were arrested.
So they've been
for 3 months. For 3 months.
Not even an adult should
For
be
3
detained
months.
for 3 months.
Before they collapsed at the Federal High Court. These minors have been kept in custody for the last 3 months, Dr. Bati. Not properly fed, not properly clothed, their welfare not catered for, some of their parents and relatives not even having knowledge of where they were kept. So it took series of applications in court to even force them to file this charge. And look at the charge they are filing against them.
What do you recommend?
Several things must happen immediately. In the first place, yes, the Attorney General has said he's going to review the file. Was he not aware? Can the learned senior advocate of Nigeria, Fabemi Eson, tell Nigeria that he's not aware, that he did not know that this charge was going to be filed? Yes, the police has prosecutorial powers. But when did the Nigerian police start prosecuting treason? It is usually in the Ministry of Justice. But this has now become a joke. A joke. And you look at what are they talking about? That they were protesting, some of them were carrying Russian flag, all sort of ridiculous things. And you are saying that children, that some of them are 13, 14, 15, they wanted to overthrow President Tinubu. So the president is so terrified by children. President Tinubu He's so terrified that children were going to overthrow him, that they were going to wage treason against the federal government of Nigeria.
No,
this is an embarrassment.
It's not President Tinubu. It's the state, Kwa state.
No, they said they wanted to overthrow the president.
Yeah, but it's a state.
Well, that is what treason is. If you are charging someone for treason,
it's a state.
Treason by law is defined as an act that is aimed at overawing the president or a governor.
No, but it's not President Tinubu in this case.
Well, we don't have another president.
It's the state protecting.
We don't have another president.
Let's Adamu is there.